Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to those of you who are joining right now. My name is Amista, and I'm just here. We're going to start off actually with Reiki once I get my cards cleared. After that, we're going to do a tarot spread to look at what is our best manifestation advice over the next 24 hours. And then after that, we are going to look at what's the other thing we're going to look at? We're going to look at tarot for some of the people in the room. So we're just going to have a little bit of fun today. I love doing these. Having people around to talk to is always great. Live streams are way more interesting than recording videos, at least for me. I don't know about for y'all. Cheryl Ford, hello, hello, welcome. Glad you're here. Thank you for the thumbs up as soon as you walked in the room. Woohoo! Appreciate that. Still just clearing cards. After that, we're going to do 5 minutes of Reiki. Is there anything that you need Reiki for, Cheryl? Nomad. Hello, hello. Glad to see you here. We're just clearing cards. After that, we're doing 5 minutes of Reiki. Is there anything you need Reiki for today? Your whole body. I'm laughing, but I can totally relate. I am not as young as I used to be. Today's been a day, too. I woke up with a migraine. It's been just like the last few minutes that has kind of chilled out. I'm looking up. There's chickens on the other side of that window. I don't think you guys can see them, but they're out there. They were moving around and caught my eye. All right, let's start off with the Reiki. I'm just setting the intention for whatever is for anybody who comes in's highest and best good. If you have something more specific that you want the Reiki to focus on, feel free to adjust that intention for yourself. Your relationships. So you want clarity about why relationships are so difficult? That'll be interesting to see how that comes in. All right. So let's see. All right. I was just looking at the timer to see when we'll be done. So we've got about 5 minutes left. 4.5 really. Where are you now? Have you looked into what's it called? Have you looked into attachment styles? So I have 2 things to say about relationship stuff. I began to understand a lot about myself and the way I am in relationships when I started studying attachment styles and figuring out, like, oh, where do I fit in this? And I think knowing about ourselves is the first piece of it, but then also being able to recognize somebody else's attachment style too kind of helps us to understand what's going on in the relationships a little bit better. There is secure and then there is unsecure, but unsecure has like 3 different types. of unsecure. There's dismissive avoidant. There's anxious avoidant or fearful avoidant. And there's one that is just anxious attachment style. And then, of course, secure. Hello there, Rhoda. Welcome, welcome. So let's see. The other thing I want to say about relationships is if you feel like you're having trouble with your relationships, Reiki can actually help you with that. And I do long distance Reiki for people to help with relationships on a regular basis. So if you want to talk to me privately about what to expect with that and if that would help you in your situation, then I would say, ping me later on a text message or something and let's talk. Crows Shows, welcome back. Glad to see you back in the room. We're doing Reiki right now. What makes them anxious? A lot of things. A lot of times it goes back to childhood wounds with parents or people who were responsible for taking care of the child. That made it so that it was really hard to trust. So then they have to have reassurance all the time. Boopity-doo-doo, boopity-doo. We still have about another minute of Reiki. Not quite, but almost. Somebody's got some Reiki going into both their feet, really. And somebody else has some Reiki going into their left ankle. For those of you who are receiving Reiki into feet have to do with finding our purpose, figuring out what our purpose is in life. So if you're struggling with that, that would make sense. Right ankle could be something very physical, but the ankle also has to do with flexibility in finding our purpose, not being knocked off course, but also not being rigid. You're quite welcome, Nomad. Okay, let's wrap up this Reiki. All right, let's get our best manifestation advice over the next 24 hours. Let's see what shows up. Let's see what we can see, what we can see, what we can see. Let's see what we can see right now. Best manifestation advice. Have y'all been thinking about what you want to manifest? I can't help it. Can't help it. Music just rolls out of me. Like I don't plan that. It just kind of rolls out of me. I didn't used to know why. I've found out within the last year that that's kind of an autistic way of modulating emotions. So that's what I do as I'm reading. All right, so let's take a peek. Best advice. Mott, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Whatever decisions that we're making, we want to make them in a fair way, in a good way. We don't want to make them corrupt or biased. Okay. 9 of Stones, stand on our own 2 feet. 9 of Stones is my independent, self-sufficient card. So standing on our own 2 feet. Ooh. 8 of Cups. This is my walk away card. And very specifically, this talks about walking away from something that makes us feel dragged down or exhausted, depleted. So that's interesting. Make a very fair decision for everybody involved. Stand on our own 2 feet. Walk away from things that are exhausting or depleting. I'm going to tell you guys, this has strong relationship overtones, whether it's romantic relationship or other. But this could be pretty heavy duty for some of you. This could be a divorce card when I see the Justice card come up. And if it is a divorce card, this says, this is fair because you've been putting more energy into the relationship. You would be the person that if you decide to divorce, it would be totally fair. Nine of Stones talks about being independent, self-sufficient. Well, obviously, you can see how that plays in with the divorce situation. Eight of Mirrors, walk away from something that is depleting you or holding you down. Well, obviously, if you've got a marriage situation and you're putting in all the energy and the effort and the other one's putting in zero, that's definitely going to deplete you. So for some of you, this could be about something like that. I don't think it's going to be that for everybody who sees this video. So for everybody who sees this video, we're going to go with the more general interpretation, which is be fair in whatever decisions that you're making. Stand on your own 2 feet and walk away from those things that are depleting you. That's how you manifest what you want to manifest today within the next 24 hours. That's a nice summary, Crow. Bias can be hard for ourselves. Sometimes, I mean, bias is an interesting thing because kind of depends where we are in life. I've seen people be biased for themselves in such a way that they really don't look out for anybody else around them. But I've also seen people that are so biased towards others that they don't look out for themselves. So it's not like bias can go one way or the other. Bias really can go both ways, which makes it tricky. That means that we can't assume that we're in one space or the other space and we need to adjust back. We really have to look at that objectively. I forgot to light my candle before I got started. Look at my cute little cauldron. Whoops, my candle went out. See all that smoke? When I was showing you all my cauldron, I must have moved it around the wrong way. Anyway, I got that for heaven's sake. It had a candle in it. I actually didn't buy it for the candle. I bought it for the cauldron. I love it. It's great. And I've already used it for ceremony. You just have to like write small things to burn in that thing for ceremony. Exactly, Crows. That's very insightful. Oh, thank you. I was trying to show you guys. I wanted you to see. Let's see if I can make it show this time without. See how it's got the little. Where's the camera? It's got a little star thing. It's got that on the front and the back. All right. Let's do some reading for some peoples. Yeah, I like to, like when I do ceremony, a lot of times if I'm trying to like get rid of something, like at a full moon, I'll write out, this is what I'm getting rid of. This is what I'm letting go of. And then after I've done my ceremony, like the last part of the ceremony will be to actually burn that piece of paper. And then new moon, very similar. Whatever I want to allow more of into my life, I'll set that intention and I'll write it down and then I'll burn that. All right, so Cheryl is first in line for a message. And I'm going to see why my phone is so loud. Excuse me just a moment. All right. Okay, let's see. What else do we have going on? Oh, you're quite welcome, Crow. Message for Desiree. They're really nice, aren't they? Setting intentions is critical. And really, honestly, like the ceremony is kind of it's the sideline thing. It's not the most important thing. What the ceremony is not the most important thing. The taking the time to sit down and set the intentions is, and that's why ceremonies are so important, because they give us that time to sit down and set the intentions, and then think about the intentions and send them out to the universe and set that vibration. I found another good ceremony that I used in January where you take salt water, and it's a cleansing ceremony. So if you feel like you have any negative energies that are clinging around on you, you take salt water and you write your name on a piece of paper, and you stick that piece of paper in the salt water, and you let it stay in there and let the salt take away anything around you to help you move forward. And so I had seen a video about that, and then I put my name, and I also put my birth date too, because I wanted to be sure that salt water knew who it was cleansing. I thought so too. All right, so let's see. We have Cheryl and Desiree on our list now. Anybody else want a reading? Say so that I've got a nice list. I can just go bang, 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 bang. You guys know I never go that fast, but I like knowing who's going to be next. Okay, Crow is up next also. Okay. All right, so we've got Cheryl, Desiree, and Crow all on the list. Guys, don't forget to put a thumbs up on this video if you don't mind. Also, share it out to the world in case somebody else might happen to need a reading. Boo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. Cheryl, message from Spirit. What do we have for you, my friend? Okay, Miss Cheryl. Ace of Stones coming up in reverse. This talks about the idea of your foundation, or whatever you think of as a foundation, being turned on its head. So your idea about stability and security may be changing dramatically, covered by the moon. Oh, dang it. And okay, so it's covered by the moon. This means that this is being influenced. Your idea of stability and security being changed is being influenced by something that you're not aware of yet, or some kind of information that hasn't come to the surface yet. Let's see what your best advice is, but we may not let that stand. Just saying. What's going on there? Okay. Now, ooh, I'm glad you subscribed. Thank you. I figured you subscribed yesterday or whenever we were here last time. It could be a good thing. When our sense of stability and security changes, usually that's a good change. Sometimes we don't really like what inspires the change. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see here. Underneath this, we have the Four of Scrolls coming up in reverse. This is the idea of that you've had some kind of downtime when it comes to your security and stability to really think things over. Or maybe you will after this shakeup. No, maybe. It's not even a shakeup. It's not a tower. It's just a shift in perspective. I think we're looking at here with this Four of Scrolls. I think we're looking at after you've had the shift in perspective, because normally for me, a Four of Scrolls like this says that I have some forced downtime and it's caused me to think about some things I wouldn't normally think about. And now I've got a new perspective on those things, but we've got it in reverse. So for me, this is after. Okay. So this says, this basically tells me that the shift in perspective about what brings stability and security happens after you've had some downtime to kind of think this over in ways that you would not have had time to think it over in before. All right. Now, my next card coming up is the Three of Mirrors. This tells me that this shift has something to do with your social network, your support network, or your friends. Oh, and it has to do with creativity because here's another Three of Stones in reverse. And the Three of Stones in reverse talks about the idea of that you thought you would be collaborating with somebody on something. And then when push comes to shove, it turns out that the other person isn't able to bring to the collaboration what they thought they could or what they said they could. And so you're finding out that you have to do things more independently. All right. So, um, I just got distracted because my computer over on the side, not the one I'm talking to you guys on, is kind of doing its own thing over there. And I don't know why. Someone's definitely saying hello. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. I'm busy. I'll talk to you later. Okay, so getting back to our reading here. I think what's going on, Miss Cheryl, is where before you might have felt like your stability and your security came from being able to collaborate with other people to do things. Now you're finding that, and I think that you may not realize that other people can't bring to the table everything that you were told they could. With this moon card, there's something going on in the background here that you don't know about. There's some kind of reason why they're not able to. Maybe they're embarrassed to tell you about it or something. And I think that you're finding that you can't count on those collaborations for your stability and security, that you have to get yourself into a position, or you have to take that stance of, I'm handling things more independently for my security and stability. That's what I think is going on here. Exactly. Hello, goodbye. I'm busy. Let's see. You know something, Crows? I'm going to tell you. I hope that makes sense for you, Cheryl. I used to have a girl, Crows, that would come to me for readings, and I found out later, and we would sit down, and I would think we're going to do an hour reading. She would get 3-hour readings, and she wouldn't really just get readings. Like, she would be tapping into what I knew about law of attraction and looking for advice on how to manifest things. And it really was, actually, it was life coaching way before way before I'd heard about life coaching that she was getting. And then she told me, like, I don't know, we must have been a year in. And she told me, she was like, I really keep coming back to you for all the noises that you make. Because as I would be looking for her questions and stuff, I would be like clucking and just making my little ditties and all of that stuff. And I was like, well, maybe I'm crazy, but that seems like some expensive noise making. Deviani, hello, hello, welcome. Glad you're here, my friend. Okay, so that was for Cheryl. Janelle's, am I reading your name right? Janelle's Beth Brown. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Okay, Rhoda. Where are you spiritually? I'm going to assume that you actually know that because I'm only going to answer one question for you. So we're going to jump right into what advice is there for you on the spiritual journey. That's going to be what we look at for you. And let's see, let me get you on the list. Janelle's Beth. Kind of like Elizabeth, but not. Okay, let's see. Desiree, you're up next. Desiree. Deviani. Yes. I'm going to have to get a new piece of paper. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo. So then we'll be Deviani. All right. So next we're looking at Desiree. After that is Crow, then Rhoda, then Janelle's Beth, then Deviani. And I'm going to be here probably about 35 more minutes. Then I'm going to have to get going. Yeah, that's right. Just looking at the clock. I did. Yay. I'm glad I pronounced it right. Woohoo. All right. Thank you for letting me know you're here. Desiree, Desiree, Desiree. Best message from Spirit for Miss Desiree, please. What do we have? Boopity doo doo, boopity doo, boopity doo doo doo. You've got a lot of plates in the air, Miss Desiree. Okay, my friend, 2 of stones showing up here. A lot of plates in the air. This talks about juggling. And it can be kind of hectic to keep all this stuff juggled, all these plates in the air, but other people are watching you and they feel like, well, if I could do that half as gracefully as she can, I would be happy. So you may be feeling kind of hectic or stressed. You don't look like it. You look like you're handling it with grace. Now, what is this covered by? 6 of mirrors in reverse. This is some bad memories showing up here. So I think you've got a lot of plates in the air because there's somebody coming in with some bad memories, or you're thinking of some bad memories, some old pains, wounds, hurts, whatever. That's putting a lot of plates in the air for you. I think you're doing some self work, Miss Desiree. Look at this. Look at this. And you were asking about relationships too with the Reiki. Boop-a-da-dee da da, boop-a-da-dee da da. School is a lot, but you've also got some emotional stuff that's kicking around too. Now, boop-a-da-doo, best advice or heads up. Ooh, wow. My friend, today is a good day for you to really focus on the emotions around the disappointments that have happened and find a healthy way to release them and release them big. Normally, this is my volcanic emotional explosion card, so that's why I'm saying release those emotions big. You can cleanse them right out of you by releasing them. So here's what I'm going to tell you. You could do this by punching a pillow, maybe. I personally don't find punching a pillow very satisfying. I'm not exactly sure why I don't. But I used to go down to the creek after Scott passed away. I had a lot of emotions that needed to be processed out of my body. And I would go down to Clear Creek because I didn't live that far away from it. And I would go to a remote place because there was a lot less people in Golden then. I would go to a remote place across right next to the creek. And I would take 2 stones and I would get them just as heavy as so I could just lift one up and with both hands, and then I would bang it down on the one that was on the ground in front of me. And I did that until my arms didn't want to do it anymore. I found that much more satisfying than pounding pillows. And sometimes I would cry as I was doing it too, honestly. Sometimes I would want to scream, but I was still in a public place, so I didn't really scream. But I might have maybe, I don't know, growled or something. So making that noise though, making some kind of sound come out is also helpful to release. It speeds up the release process. But also doing something very physical with our bodies will help us release. And this is an emotional volcanic explosion. So this is a time to look at some of those disappointments and release some of that energy. Boobity-doo-doo. Yeah. Water can cleanse you, but it's not like getting in the water can cleanse you. Yes. But that's not a volcanic emotional release. That's more of a like seeping away type of release. We're talking about boiling, volcanic action. Think of a volcano when that lava comes out, it's like this kind of a release is what they are expressing. Exactly. Exactly, Crow. Oh, and I love the image. All right, so that was Desiree. Next up is Crow. Let's see. And Crow, I think you just wanted a message as well. By the way, guys, whenever somebody gets a message from Spirit, if you notice that it's resonating for you, please take that and appropriate that and use it appropriately in your own life as well. That's what we call a piggyback message. And so Spirit will sometimes give messages to other people on top of the person I am specifically reading for. And so you just want to keep your eye out for that. If it doesn't fit you, then, don't do anything with it. Don't try to stretch it out, scrunch it up, run over it, or throw it in the dryer to make it fit. All right, so Crow. Let's see what we have. What do you consider a blind read? Are you saying not to use the cards? Boopity-doo-doo. Or are you saying like a message from Spirit? Boopity-doo-doo. What do you consider a blind read? Joanne Leone, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you back in the room, honey bunny. Oh, okay. All right. All right. So let's see what a message from Spirit from Crow's shows. For Crow's shows, I should say. Maybe it's from your higher self. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. All right. What do we have here? All right, Janelle's Beth, let me put you on the list. All right, so I'm going to be here 27 more minutes, and I'm going to hit everybody on the list that I can before that time goes up without really rushing, because I don't want to rush through anything. And sometimes just some thoughts need to be shared without necessarily looking at cards. So the name of this is Reiki Tarot and Chat with Amista. So don't anybody get bent out of shape if we chat. Crow. We have the Celtic Owl showing up in reverse. This is time to take action. You've been thinking about something for a while. You have come up with a solution. Remember, this is past, present, or future. I'm reading it as if it's present because it's on the table in front of me right now. What does this action have to do with? Well, the crossing card tells us the King of Stones. Ooh. All right. Well, I'm going to assume you know about this, but I'm going to tell you this is time to take action about the idea of not having enough, or about somebody in your life who is always trying to get you to help them to have enough. So getting you to loan them stuff or loan them money or give them things. Or if your income is not enough, it's time to take some action about that. You've already been thinking about it. Okay. You know how this plays out in your life. All right. Now, maybe both. Maybe if you don't have enough for yourself and somebody's still coming to you for stuff, you might have to tell them, you got to figure out a different source and do something about getting more. I don't know. Now, best advice or heads up. Okay. What sign are you again, Crow? Because I know Scorpios have been having that issue. Whoa, show. So have some other signs too, though. Let's see. Oh, you're Pisces. Oh, that's right. You're a water sign, huh? Okay, so let's see here. Let's see here. No, Corsair. First of all, this is an action card. This says take action on something that makes you feel inspired and passionate, makes you want to put the pedal to the metal. Ooh, maybe literally. Maybe literally. I woke up one day and I was like, you know what? Because I'm a Scorpio and I've been having the financial stuff. I was like, I'm going to start driving Lyft. Talk about putting pedal to the metal. So I supplement with Lyft now, at least for now. That won't be always, but I've done that before, supplemented. And then once business picks back up, I don't stress out. All right. Then what else do we have? We have the Pilgrim. The Pilgrim talks about really doing some research, doing some investigation, learning. Ooh, there you go. I used to be accused of being like a race car driver because I used to have a lead foot. No, man. And then I got into a four-wheeler accident where the four-wheeler, well, I flipped. I flipped right up off the four-wheeler and did cartwheels in the air. The person behind me said I went 15 feet in the air before I started coming back down. It was ugly. So now now I'm not Mario Andretti anymore. Okay, so last card that we have coming up here. 9 of Scrolls. Basically says that this is stressful right now. All right, it's acknowledging that this is really stressful. So, I think the deal is if you want to take some of the stress off, you have to start taking action on something that you would feel inspired to do. And with the Pilgrim, this talks about learning. She's the messenger too, also. So, Page of Scrolls, she's the messenger of words, messenger of communication. This might be saying, hey, start your YouTube channel. And Spirit's acknowledging, yes, we know it's stressful. You know the worst part about starting a YouTube channel? I'll tell you the worst part. Because I started my first one in 2013. And this still is something that, like, it gets me. The worst part is seeing yourself on camera. That's the worst part. It's like, do I look like that? Did I have that much gray hair yesterday? Or when I'm losing weight, all these little lines that come up right here, I'm like, oh my God. Really, that's the hardest part is getting past that and allowing other people to see us the way we are. Because they're going to see us the way we are anyway. It's just that now we're more aware of it. The first time I started a YouTube channel, I started getting my nails done professionally because I was holding up cards to the camera all the time like this, and I was feeling really self-conscious. Now I may or may not have my nails done whenever I go on camera. All right, so well, sometimes it's good to take your mind off of your current interpersonal conflicts. And here's the thing, if people start contacting you for readings and you start doing private readings, what you'll find is that you're usually just like maybe a couple of months ahead of where they are in their situation. Or sometimes they're in a very similar situation and you end up learning from their reading. Like mentally, you're going, oh, I need to take notes because I could use this information in my relationship. Anna Felipa, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you here. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we have to take our minds off of the conflict for it to resolve. We have to look at the good stuff. I try to be down to earth and approachable. I am Scorpio, so I'm told all the time that I'm intimidating. All right, so now let's see. Rhoda. Okay, Rhoda, are you still in the room? And then after Rhoda is Chanel's Beth. I'm assuming that means thank you. What language are you typing to me there? We are cool people, aren't we, Janelle's Beth? Rhoda's here. Anna, feel free. So here's the deal, Miss Anna. What I'm telling everybody is I am going to be here about 19 more minutes, and I'm going to get to everybody that I get to in that time. And I've got you on the list. Just put your question in there. That way I'll have it when I'm ready. Okay, let's see here. Best advice for Rhoda on her spiritual journey. What would you like to tell her as far as guidance going forward when it comes to her spiritual journey? Boop-a-doo-doo-doo. Okay, they're telling me to do like a message from spirit type of spread for you because they're basically indicating you have different aspects to your spiritual journey, whether you know that or not, they're saying. And they want to talk to you about a certain aspect of it. So they're wanting to really niche down. So we'll take a peek and see. The day does go by fast. It's be grateful. Ooh, I like it. How did she say be grateful? Mahala Nui or Nui from Hawaii. Yay. All right. Let's see. Anna. Okay, message from spirit. So not a question. Okay. All right. Now let's get back to who am I reading for again? This is Rhoda. So this is interesting. You've got the Lovers in reverse, covered by the Death card or Ariadne in this deck. This basically says that there's been some major changes in your life, or you're going through some right now, or there will be some soon. Because I don't know if this is past, present, or future, so I'm going to talk like it's present. But this talks about that there's major changes in your life that has caused you to unpartner up with somebody, or has caused a partnership to come apart, or has caused a partnership to be where you guys can't see eye to eye anymore because of these changes that you're making in your life. And I'm assuming that those changes are a part of your spiritual journey because that's what we're asking about. So you may be growing or expanding. Somebody that you're partnered up with may not be, and that may be causing some issues between you. Now, best advice or heads up on this. Very interesting. Four of Spirals in reverse says step back from the situation so that you can be more objective about it. So you want to look at the situation objectively. All right, take the emotion out and just look at it, from the other person's angle and from your angle. But in an objective way. And then you've got Hernie the Hunter. So I think that even with the changes that you've been making with Hernie the Hunter, this talks about two people moving forward together towards the same goal. So this really is telling me that this time that you're taking to think about this objectively and kind of step back and get yourself some breathing space to do that allows you to figure out how you can work things out so that both of you can work together towards the same goal. It may be that there's just some communication that needs to happen. I mean, this person may be totally willing and they may not know how. And then with the divine child, this talks about really commit to that movement forward together. Now, this is interesting to me because this smacks of marriage or heavy-duty partnership. Smackety smack smacks of it. All right? Funny that you asked that question because this card can talk about romantic partner, okay? This card can talk about a successful marriage or partnership. This card can talk about marriage. So this is super strong partnership vibes with definite leanings towards romantic partner or husband or wife. And especially this with the house, even though it's in reverse, this still talks about the idea of family. Step back so you can look at this objectively. Right now, you're right in the middle of all the weeds and you can't see the real deal. Step back. Maybe even take a little bit of time away. But this is only temporary time away. Even if you separate, this is a temporary separation. I mean, it could be past, present, or future, but these are designed so that usually if they're future, they happen within 2 weeks. So if this is not a romantic partner, then this would have to be a really close friendship or some kind of business partnership. But man, like this thing has marriage labels all over it. Possibly, yeah. I mean, possibly family, but marriage or a partner is what I would think with that spread. So weird. Not baby daddy. Just so you know. All right, next is Janelle's Beth. Janelle's Beth, are you still in the room? In the batter's box is Deviani. Janelle's Beth, I wrote you down twice. And then after Deviani is Anna Filippa. All right. Here we go. Message from Spirit for Janelle's Beth. And Deviani's here. Okay, you're in the batter's box, honey bunny. All right. Everybody, don't forget, put a thumbs up on this reading if you find that it benefits you, please. Also, share it out to the world in case other people would like to have a reading as well. Not sure how many more other people I could get to, but we might. We only have 3 left. All right, what do we have? Okay, honey bunnies. What do we have here for Janelle's Beth? Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback reading. 2 of Stones coming up in reverse. This says, man, I've got a lot on my itinerary. I've got a lot of plates in the air. I've got a lot of things to take care of. And something is falling through the cracks. This is covered by the 6 of Mirrors. This tells me that this something is like I am taking my playtime and I'm not paying attention to me right now. I'm not allowing myself to have my playtime or my time to rejuvenate myself. Okay? So Janelle's Beth, it looks like you're doing all the things that you need to do and all the things for other people, but you're not doing what you need to pamper yourself and take care of yourself. Okay? So yep, we've had it come up for 2 different people now. Do, 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 do. Baby. This is funny. I hear this all the time when I listen to other people doing YouTube, but really, you just can't make this up. Best advice here, 8 of Stones in reverse. My 8 of Stones, right side up, this is like work, doing more work, getting some work done, getting some work accomplished. Whether it's going to work, working around the house, doing volunteer work, whatever, it's work. All right? You didn't get it right side up. You got it in reverse. So guess what this is? Time off work, not working, not getting things done, not getting something accomplished. Take some time off. Take some time off. Now, Gaia in reverse. This tells me you're afraid to take time off because you're trying to stash some money back. But here's the thing, if you hit burnout and you crash, like physically crash, your body crashes because your body will work so hard for so long. And then after a while, your body will say, oh, I'm depleted. Oh, and she's not taking care of me. Oh, well, I guess we have to take care of us. And then you won't be able to get your ass out of bed. So you can take a break, or you can make your body force you to take a break, but it generally works out better for all of us when we choose to take the break and prevent that. So whenever I see this, it reminds me of I used to run an ice cream truck before I knew that I was psychic at all. And so I would run the ice cream truck, and I ran it in Missouri, which was very humid during the summer times. And whenever the kids weren't in school, I would go and hit the route at 10 o'clock in the morning. So all summer long, 10 o'clock in the morning, didn't matter, weekday, weekend, didn't matter, and start working. And I would work until dark, which would be like right around 9 o'clock at night at the longest days. And then I would come home, and then I would count my money, and then I would go to bed, and then I would get up and do it again the next morning. Okay. So working basically 12, 13-hour days. No biggie. That was what it was. Day after 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 day. Because summer is only so long. You got to be out there making the money when you can, right? And so I would not allow myself a break. And usually about 2 months in, all of a sudden, my body would be like, oh, no, we're not getting out of bed. Thank you very much. Oh, you need to go to the bathroom? Okay, well, you can get up and go to the bathroom. Oh, no, we don't need food. Lay back down. And I would spend the day in bed, and right around 6 o'clock in the evening, I would finally feel like getting up, and I would make myself a meal, and then I would allow myself to just watch a movie and go to bed, and then the next day, I would go back to hitting the route again. That's what this reminds me of. And I'm gonna tell you, the body not getting out of bed is a mild version of that, because I've also seen people hit burnout so hard that they literally get sick so that they cannot get out of bed because the body is like, well, if you're just not listening, we will shut you down. Now you want ice cream. Okay, so that's Janelle's Beth. Next up, we have Davyani. And after Davyani, we have Anna Filippa. You're quite welcome. Okay, so Davyani, we're doing a message from Spirit. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. Oh, you want a love reading and guidance. Okay. Okay, so we've got a lot in that line, Davyani. So here's what I do. I'll bring you a message from Spirit, or I will answer one question. So what do you really want to know? What do you really want to know? Let's boil it down to the most important thing. What do you really want to know? Okay, so do you want love guidance around this certain someone that you're talking to, or love guidance in general? Boop-a-da-doo-doo, 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 boop-a-da-doo-doo. Okay, tell me that person's first name then. Because I use first names to actually do my readings. Five more minutes. Boop-a-da-doo, Vipul. Or Vipul. I'm going to call him Vipul. Okay. What would you say to Divyani about interacting with Vipul moving forward from this moment, please? What would you give her for advice about interacting with this person moving forward, Vipul? Boop ba da doo 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 doo. Ooh. Ooh. Aw, you miss him. First card coming out is LP, which would be the star card in any other deck. This talks about being hopeful about something, and it also talks about healing something. What are you being hopeful about healing? You're being hopeful about healing this disappointment that showed up between you and him, and you miss him. This idea that you should be hopeful about healing this thing. Is it a good idea for Divyani to reach out to Vipul? Is it a good idea for her to reach out to him? Let him come to you. Be hopeful that this will be healed up, but let him come to you. Don't you go to him. Don't try to make it happen. Okay. Next up is Anna. Anna. Is Anna Felipa still in the room? Anna Felipa. Hello there, Anna. Okay, here we go. A message from Spirit for Anna Felipa. You're quite welcome. Boop-a-da-doo, boop-a-da-doo, boop-a-da-doo-doo, boop-a-da-doo. And keep a good attitude. Give it time and keep a good attitude. Anna Felipa. Boop-a-da-doo-doo, boop-a-da-doo. Oh, thank you, Nomad. I enjoyed y'all being here. All right, Anna. Oh, we had this earlier. Ace of Stones. This just talks about you're having a change in perspective about what it means to be stable and secure in life. Covered by the King of Stones in reverse. Ooh, this is telling me that you've got somebody in your sphere of influence who is broke. And I'm hearing they're broke all the time. And that person and interacting with that person is changing your ideas about what stability and what security actually is. Best advice or heads up coming up here. First of all, with the 7 of spirals, this says put up some boundaries. Put up some boundaries, keep some standards. This 9 of mirrors, this says basically put up some boundaries around those things that make you feel satisfied and happy. So if somebody is coming to you and asking for money or resources, time, energy, effort, or whatever, and it's taking away from you being able to create your own stability and your own satisfaction, then you need to set some boundaries so that you can protect that. And with the 3 of scrolls in reverse, this tells me that doing that is going to get you past some kind of heartache or heartbreak about something that you feel like you've missed out on because you've been trying to help this person so much. Okay. So basically, this is talking about where you have felt like stability and security was gained by helping other people. This is basically Spirit saying that's all well and good. And Spirit is not unhappy when we help other people, but it's just like when we ride on an airplane. Put the oxygen mask on our own face first. The kids have to come later. Because if we don't have oxygen, who's going to look out for the kids? Same thing with this person who's always needing your resources. You have to be rejuvenated and replenished before you have anything to share with this person. So it's time to put up some boundaries so that you can do that. Okay. Hope that makes sense for you, my dear. All right. And that is my 1 hour here. So it's time for me to get out of here. Thank you guys very much for keeping me company today. I really do appreciate it. That's what makes live streams much more fun than making the videos. If you would like to try and catch me next time around, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notifications whenever I upload stuff or whenever I come on live. I try to come on live about 3 or 4 times a week at least, sometimes more. And that'll give you a chance to come in and have a question answered or just touch base with Sacred Spirit. And also, if you want a private reading, you can check out my website in the description box below. I do offer private readings. I offer mentoring sessions for those of you looking to tap into your own abilities. I offer long-distance Reiki. I offer long-distance Reiki for your pets if they need it. If you live locally, I cleanse homes whenever you have, hauntings going on. And what else? I have a newsletter you can sign up for that gives predictions for every sign every week. Also, don't forget to look for predictions for next week. Those are available on this channel already. So I don't do very much at all with the psychic stuff, and I'm looking to add to it. So anyway, everybody have a fantastic day. Peace out.